Okay, so I want to ask a question. Personally, do you think Igbo ambition is constantly interpreted in Nigeria as a national threat? Yes, that's a question I'm throwing to you who is seeing this video. So recently, popular Nollywood actor Okon from Akwa Ibom State made a very interesting statement. I call it interesting because it is interesting about the Igbo people, yeah? He said, and I quote, "The GDP of Nigeria largely depends on the trade and enterprise of the Igbo man. I don't think we have anything to write home about without the Igbo man." Those were his exact words.
Why is Igbo ambition constantly interpreted in Nigeria as a national threat?
Well, like I said, it's only weak people who see people who are very overreachingly ambitious as threatening. Yes. What's the life of a man without ambition? Look at any woman here, or any woman who's a high-value woman. You don't want to be with a man who doesn't have ambition? Let's be serious. Would you? We want to be with a man who doesn't have ambition, who doesn't have tall dreams. An Igbo man has tall dreams, of course. And I can make bold to say that if not for the fact that, an Igbo man has put his foot down, stamped his foot, to turn stone to gold in this country, all right? I don't think we will be anything to write home about as far as the general GDP of the economy of this country.
So are you trying to say that the general GDP of the GDP of this country is determined by an Igbo man?
Hugely determined by the trade and enterprise of the Igbo man and the will to take risk, even when that risk is not a calculated one.
Now, that's a very, very strong statement, one that has sparked a lot of debate across Nigeria. So today, let's dive into it together. Do you agree with Okon, or do you think he may have exaggerated this whole thing? Let's find out. So Okon is basically saying that the backbone of Nigeria's gross domestic product, its economy, is the Igbo man. He's pointing directly to the Igbo entrepreneurial spirit, their dominance in trade, their role in Nigeria's markets, both home and abroad. Think about it for a second. From Onitsha main market, one of the largest markets in West Africa, to Ariara International Market in Aba, all the way to Alaba International Market in Lagos, dominated mostly by the Igbos. I mean, Igbos are basically everywhere when it comes to trade. And it's not just in Nigeria. They've also taken their enterprise abroad, from South Africa to China, the UK, the US, and almost every corner of the world. The Igbo man is often described as a born risk taker. Oh yes. Unlike many other groups that may wait for government jobs or prefer security, the average Igbo man or woman is ready, to start small and grow big. You've probably heard stories of Igbo apprentices who start as sales boys in shops, learning the ropes for years, and then go on to become millionaires or even billionaires through the Igbo apprenticeship system. What many have called the world's largest business incubator. This system alone has produced countless business tycoons across Nigeria. Could it be that this entrepreneurial model is the real engine powering Nigeria's economy? That's something worth thinking about. But let's be fair. While Igbos dominate trade and enterprise, other regions of Nigeria contribute strongly in their own ways. For instance, the Niger Delta contributes oil and gas, right, which is the single biggest export of Nigeria. Then the Southwest region, especially Lagos, is a hub for finance, technology, and entertainment. And of course, the North region contributes massively to agriculture, livestock, and solid minerals. So here's the big question. Can we really say, Nigeria's GDP depends largely on Igbos alone? Or should we say the Igbo enterprise is one of the major engines, but not the only one? It's undeniable that the Igbo man's contribution to Nigeria's economy is enormous. Markets, industries, real estate, automobile trade, importation, you name it. The Igbos are at the center. But calling them the sole backbone of Nigeria's GDP may not paint the full picture per se. What Okon said has truth in it, but maybe it's not the full truth. Perhaps Nigeria's economy is like a body, and while the Igbo man represents the heart of enterprise, the oil industry could be the lungs, agriculture, the stomach, finance, the brain, and so on and so forth. So what do you think? Do you agree with Okon that without the Igbo man's trade and enterprise, and of course risk taken, Nigeria would not have anything to write home about? Or do you think he gave too much credit to the Igbos while overlooking other regions' contributions? At the end of the day, one thing I know, the Igbo entrepreneurial spirit is unmatched. Oh yes, you cannot even match it. They are risk takers, builders, and wealth creators who play a vital role in Nigeria's economy. But like I asked, is it really fair to say Nigeria's GDP rests squarely on their shoulders? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Okon, or do you think Nigeria's economy story is broader than that? Let's have our honest conversation. And if you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content just like this one. We'll see you in the next video.